Right, I'm going to have a go at making the Caesar cipher. Now, I don't have a printer at home, so I wasn't able to print out that fantastic template to help me. So I'm going to have a go with the stuff that I've found around my house. I've raided the recycling and found some card. I have found 2 circles that I can use to make circle drawings. So that's what I'm going to use for making my Caesar wheel. So the first thing we need to do is get some card. So I'm going to snip off where my box has been flattened. I've now got 2 bits of card that I can use. Okay, and I'm going to use my glass to draw 1 circle, which is going to be the small inner circle. And then I'm going to use my bowl. Oh no, that's too big. Oh dear, I'm going to have to go and find another circle because this one's too big. Right, I've managed to find a smaller bowl, but still bigger than my first circle. So I'm going to draw around it. And then we need to cut both of them out. Right, just finishing that cutting. Remember to tidy your workspace as you go so that you don't have too many things cluttering up. So I'm going to just move my bowl and my glass to the side. Now, this is the bit that's going to be really tricky because the template has got the squares marked for all the bits of the alphabet. We've got 26 letters in the alphabet, so even if we divided it up by just drawing lines across, we wouldn't end up with 26. So we're going to have to think about this really carefully. So 26, if we start with the 12 o'clock position and the 6 o'clock position, then we know we've got to fit 13 sections in here and 13 sections in here. Now, it doesn't matter if they're not exactly right. We need to try and keep them as accurate as possible. So 13 is a prime number, so you can't really divide. Half of 13 would be there. So that's going to be 6.5. So if we then mark on either side of that, 6.5, so we need to fit in 6, and that's easier to do because that would be 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, and again. So we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we can do the same on this side. So that will be our halfway point, and we want to extend these marks right across both the circles. Otherwise, they won't meet up when we have our code written on them. So again, I'm going to work from my halfway mark here. So that's where my middle one's going to be. That's 7. I'm going to extend those lines down to here, and then I'm going to make 6 spaces over here. So divide it in half again because that will be 3 on each. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to try and help myself by putting a little arrow here just to remind me that that's the 12 o'clock, just so that I can align my two circles if they go out of sync. And now all we need to do is do the alphabet on both. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you keep going. Somehow I've managed to end up with an extra space, so I'm going to just put a number in there. Right, now we're going to do the same on the inside, this time using lowercase. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and you keep going right until you... Right, so we have now lettered our cipher and it is ready to go. Now on the instructions it asks you to put a split pin so that you can turn it more easily. I don't have one at home, so I'm just going to be very careful, which is why it's really handy to have those two matching notches, so that when I want to go back to the cipher and reset it, I know where to go back to. So if I now rotate, say for example I decide that my cipher key is going to be a D, if I rotate my middle disk so that A is on D, once I've written my message down, so if I wrote the word cat, I would have, my message would read 3, Y, Q, and you would have to send me the key as being D, and then I could turn mine, read your code, and I would be able to decipher that you'd sent me the word cat. Now because we haven't measured very accurately, it's going to be a little bit tricky. So if you have a look here, those align beautifully, but these here are slightly squint, so you have to be really careful to check that you've written down the correct cipher. So it's not great having no template, but at least you get to have a go. So have a go, see if you can work it out, and write me a code that I can decode. Don't forget to send me the key.